There we are. Thank goodness I didn't curse. Okay, and the sound is going. Looks like we're back up and running, everybody. Okay, let's see if we can get that picture again. There you go. Take a look there. Now, it's tough to focus in on that, but you see those, there it is, those raised orange bumps. Right there, raised orange bumps. And those bumps coincide with the small holes in the branch known as lenticels. Because they're from those small holes, they're lenticular cankers. Yeah, they're called cankers. And they're the first sign of some kind of disease. Now, I looked this one up, and well, it's either one of two things. It's a bacterial canker or it is a fungal canker. Any which way you look at it, it's not a good sign, but there are things you can do to help keep it from spreading too much, and that one would be to use copper sulfate spray on the tree, and you'll have to use that between rains until the problem either clears itself up or it gets much worse, in which case you would have to remove the tree and start all over again, unfortunately. It is, some canker diseases can be pretty bad. But when you have a canker disease, it usually indicates that the tree is under some kind of stress. And I was talking to the gentleman that brought this tree in, and it turns out that the tree is planted 5 or 6 feet away from 2 or 3 other trees, and I think it was in a pot. So potted deciduous flowering trees are under an incredible amount of stress. I think this tree was about 4 years old and in a large pot. And these are under an incredible amount of stress, and so you're going to have much more in the way of these kind of problems because of the stress that the tree has. What can the gentleman do? Well, there are some bigger, more or less organic fungicides if the copper doesn't work. And if the copper doesn't work, he'll probably be coming back in and asking more questions. So hopefully that'll do it, and he'll be on his way. That's a Japanese apricot infected by a canker fungus, and the canker fungus is showing lenticular cankers, in other words, cankers in the lenticels. So that was that. Now, another walk-in that I got today is this one right here, and notice that is bring it up here, keep an eye on it. Oh, that contrasts nicely with that blue shirt. Look at that. Take a look at those, and what's really interesting, if you can take a look right there where my armpit is, take a look where my armpit would be, not the one next to the microphone, the one where the flower is. You notice the yellow anthers. They're very furry. It's a very furry kind of almost bristly anther stalks. I guess those are. They're not even anthers. They're anther stalks, or what would have been anther filaments. And so the way I go about identifying something like this, I didn't know what it was offhand, is it's a combination of experience and certain books I like to call flip-through books. Nobody else calls them I call them flip-through books, or flip books. No, they're not those cartoon things where you draw little cartoons and flip through them. These flip books, these are books that I can flip through relatively rapidly and eyeball the plants and see trends in the structures so that I can identify it. Now, in order for me to use these books, I have to kind of know where I'm going. I looked at this plant, and it looked like a red hot poker, a Kniphofia, but I knew it wasn't a Kniphofia. So I went. Kniphophias are from Africa. I think specifically they're from the Cape. Don't hold me to that, but I figure it's probably a Cape bulb, because Cape bulbs do very well here. I know that he got it from Steve Garisher. Steve, if you ever